Morning.
This. This is the Cuisinart from the house.
That's a tea kettle.
Yeah. This is the catalytic converter out of my wife's car.
Mm-hmm.
And this obviously is the old one.
Right.
And this is obviously the new one. See where they make these things? Look at this, Drew. They take the bolts and just weld them. They just like tack weld them into the flange.
That's perfect.
Beautiful, right? But yeah, you know, it was just a matter of I had codes on this thing, and it ended up being a bad cat. And you know what happened this morning, Chris? I told you I went through all the thing of moving all the cars, playing car jack.
Right.
I got the car, my wife's car, in the garage. I said, all right, let me jack it. Let me get on the stands. I was like, let me see if I can loosen the bolts. Next thing you know, I'm under there. I'm greasy. I got penetrant dripping all over the place. I was like, this thing's gonna come out before I'm done. So, but feel the weight. This one is that's cast. That's a cast piece. This is obviously sheet metal.
I've noticed that there's like a little hole.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's why it's throwing me a cat code, because
I could see a pour.
It's an 02. Yeah, it's an 02 Mazda. And I thought it was an 02 sensor, but it ended up being the cat.
It's like a big mass airflow sensor.
Yeah, it's a Bosol part. Bosol, exhaust. $184 off the internet.
Sounds good.
And yeah, I like the way they just kind of welded. I'm going to see if I can. I actually can't put the old heat shield back on because they didn't give me the things. But there you go.
See, this is why you need
Video.
MotorMouth vision.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's what it should be called, MotorMouth Vision.
So this is basically my afternoon where I go home. I mean, it came out real. And Chris, these were the studs I told you I was playing with for the past year.
You like playing with studs, don't you?
This was the one I changed with the inductor tool.
Ah.
Right? So now I have to rig something with the bolts, and that's my afternoon. After I load up on this cake.
What does your garage look like?
Oh, it is a feast for the eyes.
Oh, my garage. It's a garage.
Every square inch has got some sort of visual entertainment in it. Every one. Every square inch of that garage.
No doilies.
You gotta walk into the garage. Yeah, you walk into the garage, you're like mesmerized. You got this
car guy's garage. I got parts for everything I ever owned up there. You know, I mean, there's stuff. It's
right. Your kids are gonna have a field day throwing everything out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Big dumpsters get cranes. There's engines under the bench, engine parts. Not to count the stuff that's in the basement. I put a lot of cylinder heads in the basement, so we only got to take those out. So they'll be cursing me for years.
Drew, how does your garage look like? Don't tell me they're like pool toys all over everything.
Clean.
It's clean.
We're very organized.
Really?
Yes.
Unlike us.
You can eat off the floors.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we mop the floors. Everything's 4 or 5 times a year. We take everything out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We mop around. When the cars are out, everything gets mopped.
Well, it's
wiped down.
I mean, teams throughout history, there's been race teams that worked in junkyards. I mean, they could work in clutter. But if you're that type of person that likes to have things neat and organized, I can't work in another environment like that. I just can't do it. So,
well, for us, everything has to be clean. You can't put rod bearings in when you.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
of course, that's just general, engine cleanliness. Yeah.
Because I have like projects on the bench that are still half completed, and they get pushed back.
And then the other project.
And then the next project happens, and then that gets half completed.
I was talking about that with Mike Manning yesterday, because he was asking me the difference. We were talking about the difference in like your garage and mine. I said, it's funny you should mention that. I described the toolbox. I said, yeah, I had to go get a wrench at Chris's toolbox. This is a couple of years ago. He said, yeah, it's in the back. I go in the back, and there's this. Every drawer was open, and the tools had just cascaded down the incline. So you're trying to pick, like, where's the 10-millimeter wrench? And Mike was laughing. I said, you open my wrench drawer, and I used the wrench rail, so you know when one's missing because there's an empty spot.
And I go, wrench rail, what's that?
Right, and they better go back when you're done.
See, our crew guys come, we get a new crew guy, the other crew guys are like, listen.
He has to adapt.
The tools have to be wiped off before they go back in the drawer. It's like everything is,
Wow.
Sure.
But
you don't want to pick up a wrench that you used to change oil, or you were using with oil on it, and then you go to adjust something in the car and it keeps slipping out of your hands.
Right.
Sometimes you got to tween around. For us, it depends on the day. It depends on what time it is. Tracks have curfews, so you might just run into a timing issue where you only get 25 minutes in between.
Right.
Really?
We talked last time you were in, Drew, about the issues with the tracks with waste disposal, like the oil disposal and things. Can you touch on that? Because that was something a lot of people didn't know about. They just think that, you dump the oil in the back and away you go.
Yeah, no, a lot of teams, what they're doing now is they're using 55-gallon drums.
Right.
The tracks actually put out some oil containers now, where you can dump your oil at the container, and then they have an outside company come in and pick it up.
Okay.
So the Safety Clean Corporation, they're working with NHRA now.
Good.
for the last couple of years now, and they're really doing a good job.
Yeah.
They even have a separate spot. Like you put the rags in one spot, and then the
Right. As long as they don't want, it's nice as long as you don't have to carry it out.
Well, the biggest they don't want us carrying a certain amount of fuel.
Yeah.
DOT does their jobs, so you're not allowed to carry a certain amount of fuel. The oil, you carry as much oil as you can because that's for us we carry pretty much up to almost 100 gallons of oil.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, we used it all on her car one day.
I did, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Oh, wait. Like you make it sound like I did something wrong.
I know.
Oh no, I didn't say you did anything wrong. So here we go.
Let's
No.
clarify.
I know, like when we make aioli at home, we use a lot of olive oil for that. Not really 100 gallons.
You know what? If
a lot of
olive
garlic, though.
oil worked,
cloves.
we'd be all right.
We had an engine
What'd you
oil issue with her car where we wouldn't keep the oil pressure up. So the only way to do it was start the car, warm it up, let her make one run, come back, change the oil, and then make another one.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
So yeah, it was kind of and my crew chief is very, very tight with money.
And how many quarts of oil in the engine?
There's 14 quarts.
Yeah. It's like a 911.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a Porsche for people who don't maybe not know.
Right. So how is Drew when he runs the ship, Dina? Does he have any quirks or anything? Yeah. How does he put on the patch? He puts on the hat. He's got the parrot on his shoulder. How does he run the?
I kind of picture.
He just said parrot.
Yeah, parrot. Yeah.
I'm
What?
thinking if somebody calls you something.
What?
I kind of picture him like the Captain Morgan man,
He's standing on a rock.
Hey.
Hey. How does he run the ship?
Very tightly.
Good.
Yeah?
Well, you
Very
have
tightly.
to.
Yeah. Well, we have certain things that we do when we get to the track. We have lists that come out. There's one list that goes on the trailer for everything that comes out of the trailer and has to be done a specific way. You have to check it off. You have to put your initials next to it. And this way, you said you did it, your initials are next to it, and it's not done.
It's not like
They're coming back to you.
so it's not like the race teams, like probably some of those southern teams. They open the back door, come up and just jam the brakes, let everything go flying out.
Right. And then a list goes on each car, and then in between rounds, each car has a list, and you specifically have to do whatever on each list. Whatever your job is.
Who writes the
and then
lists?
You check it. They're on a laminated piece of paper.
So it's the same list you use all the time.
Yeah, and then
It's
it just
over-
gets
okay.
wiped off.
Gotcha. So it's like the dry erase board type of thing.
Yeah, like the same thing, except we just tape it to the windshield of the car.
You ever put one on Bella's back? Let her walk around with one.
Let me tell you,
it says
she's
dog food, treat, snap.
She's a sport. She's a sport.
ham.
Oh, sure.
She gets more attention than I do.
Well,
She
the
does.
animals assimilate. Yeah, that's
She's starting to
She's
take it
done-
real personally.
She's drawn a lot of fans to us.
yeah. Well, with a stroller like she has, come
Yeah.
on.
Telling you.
Love the shot of Bella in the slick.
Yeah, that's a good picture.
That's
Yeah.
a great picture. That's a great shot.
She rocks, man. She's
Are drag racers superstitious?
Absolutely.
Do you guys do anything like? Is there any sort of?
It's amazing they come here.
Yeah, right. Well, they come here to either change their luck. If their luck is bad, they come here.
How much worse could it get? Right? What's going to happen next?
If their luck
One of
is
those
good,
Right.
they
Stay away.
Stay away. Exactly. No, we're winning. We're not gonna. No, is there anything that you guys do that sort of ritualistic?
There's things we don't do. We do
Like
do.
what? I'm curious.
Well, sometimes people believe that if you talk about it, it brings it on.
Well, that's true.
So you
Well,
have to know what.
certain things that we do before we get in a race car is the way we put our suits on.
Really?
So
Really?
Dina will put her boots on a certain way, her gloves go on.
How many different ways could you put boots on?
But I did the
Well,
same thing when I skated for ice skates. I always put
you
the
left
same
one first,
shoe on
right
Okay.
one. Same with gloves.
I get dressed that way in the morning. I do the same thing every morning.
So it's the same.
I
Like
use the
safety
checklist.
equipment on the same way. I won't when they clip our
The Hans
neck
device.
safety. Well, we don't wear Hans.
After you crashed, did you think about changing that maybe?
No.
Like helmet first, shoes last.
Right.
No, because I walked away and I made lunch.
True. So
Yeah.
you gotta look at it positive.
That's why
right?
when I see these basketball players, like the other day, the guy fell. He was like, "Oh, my finger." I'm like, "You're getting paid $1 gazillion. Get up and keep playing."
Oh boy, talk about a tough,
There you
tough
go.
crew chief.
You betcha.
Hey.
that's why we don't put her in charge.
Yeah.
I don't want to work for Dina.
Get up and keep playing. I can't.
Just the way we put on our clothes is different. Everybody, Dina will have right boot, left boot. The gloves go on. Dave pretty much takes care of Dina. We don't.
Okay.
Hands off. I don't even go near her. She gets in the car and her seatbelts, the way she does the seatbelts are different. Everybody has their own way.
Because I can't tighten them on my own.
No, I said you have a certain way of doing your seatbelts.
Don't. He's gonna start in a second.
See? It's complex.
So there is a ritual that does
There
happen.
is. And green is the worst color.
Why is
Well,
that?
it's been a hot rod.
I mean,
I
moment
can
for years.
tell you from experience. When we repainted my car, they painted the back half of my car
With green on
with
it.
green, not a military green,
Right.
Which was what he wanted.
a green.
Yeah.
My car, excuse me. We went out in my car. We've got 165 runs on my car. We went out for 3 seasons. I shook 4 out of all those seasons. We went to Virginia to test for 2 days. My brain hurt. I got shaken so bad. We cracked the body.
Welcome to my world, my brother.
We broke 2 doors. And I believe, and my crew chief believes it's because it's green.
Well, then again, there's guys like John Force who did pretty damn good with green.
Right.
You know, it's because it's Castrol green. I don't know.
Because I remember green being a superstitious
It
color
always
on the
has
track.
been.
It's-
Yeah, it
but
was.
No,
Oh,
take it on the
it
street.
goes back to like
It-
Barney
Well,
Oldfield.
even
I mean,
no, even transcend down to the street. Like there was even motorcycles. No, green bike, no, it's bad luck. But there's guys that paint them green just to buck the system.
Peanuts.
Yeah, peanut shells.
huh?
Peanut, any kind of shell off of a nut
Yeah.
in your pit area.
You want them or don't want them?
No, you don't want them.
Don't want them. They get caught in your teeth. They get caught in the grooves
No,
of
they
the tire.
say it's very bad luck to have that in your pit area.
Really?
Yeah, like people dropping peanut shells, so it's so funny. Like we had a guy one day and dropping peanut shells in there. I'm like, I go sweeping them out.
Blow up.
Yeah.
Fire up the car when it's on a lift or something. Get the
Yeah.
rear wheels to blow air on them or something.
Wow.
So really, there is superstition. I really was not sure.
Yeah, and speaking of superstition, I definitely don't want to forget to always say a big thank you to NGK because they've stood behind us since our Super Comp days. They're still standing behind us, and they're still a big help to us.
That's excellent.
Always, yeah. They've
Biggest supporters of our
yeah,
team.
they've been such
Really?
a good supporter of our team. Yep.
Since we started back, and I mean they've been with us since 2002.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow,
So
great.
they've been with us for a long time.
Since our Super Comp days, so yeah, just a
Excellent.
big
They've
shout
been
out
great.
and big thank you to them.
Well, we got about a minute. Anyone else you want to thank?
Yes, Audrey's Bakery in West Sayville
Yeah, Audrey's Bakery
Yes,
for
for the-
sure.
for the fabulous silk and satin cake.
I cannot wait
Head 'em
to
up,
dig my
peeps.
teeth
They're
into
awesome.
So we're going to wrap it up, B.
that. Let's do it.
And thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
head
you.
up to
Dina Drew.
ReeseRacing.com.
Thank you. I was just going to say, if
Yeah.
anybody wanted to get a hold of you guys for any
Yeah,
questions or
well,
comments.
you have a link on your website,
Yes,
I
we
believe.
do.
So
Yes,
if
we
they
do.
can't find us, and we're on Facebook and Twitter and all that fun stuff, people can find us there. And
You found
check
Chris
us
there.
out.
Yes.
Hiding.
Yes. Have I been getting better on
You-
Facebook, Dina?
You're so much better. I don't have to come and yell at you anymore. I love it.
I'm trying.
Oh, yell at him anyway.
I
You
love
like
it.
hearing the stories.
Yeah,
Dina
thank
yelled
you.
at me again. Damn it, what am I doing wrong?
Anybody wants, sponsor the team or, come and check us out. We'd love it.
You have a phone number you can throw out?
Well, the best way to find us is, send us an email. It's probably the best way to do it.
And go to PariseRacing.com.
That's
Yes,
it.
And it's Parisi with an E.
Yes, exactly. Dina and Drew Parise, Parise Racing, thank you so much. For Ray Guarino and Chris Switzer, this is MotorMouth Radio. We will talk on Thursday. See ya.